What do you need?
1 second. Can you hold that for a second? You can say hi.
But they're not that
Hi.
Are you a good scribe? You're a great scribe, I remember.
We're running into technical difficulties here.
Going great, going great. All right, finals, NOC.
Wait, you're going to broadcast the judges?
Yeah, exactly. I can see how, then they can see how mean everyone's being.
That guy's a jerk. I'm not giving him a loop.
I don't know
if he's any more drinks.
Man, I hope you have your tripod like
Yeah, I'm just going to put it on someone's head. Hope you guys don't mind.
We're out. We're out.
We're ready.
Oh no, they can hear us. Can we move it so where they can't hear us?
Should have done all this before I started. Right. I'm ready.
I did want to say it's really cool. We got this dude Edward here. He's from Chile, and we're talking at the end. His nickname is Party. I don't know where he is right now, but he's right down there. Yeah. He brought me a beer while I was announcing. How cool is that? But anyway, that dude was in the 2009 World Championships in Thun, Switzerland. We were in the same heat, competing on a wave in Switzerland. Super cool. And so having him be here in this thing was super cool. Brad Burton from the 90s, or I guess early 2000s. He's 47 years old. Former Team Dagger guy on tour. Super cool. Anyways, awesome. All right, junior boys, we're going. I'm not sure who's on mic.
Alrighty, Evan Bate dropping into the feature. Go over that entry one, rolling in. Can he retain it? Yes, he can. And that should be a few quick points right off to the start here. And he's going to do a spin, maybe a shove it there. And he catches a little edge on his stern. But he still is in the dead water, and there he flushes out. And he still has plenty of time to work back up into the feature. And he's working ways up. And remember, they have 3 rides each and only 1 ride counts. This is going to be a long evening of rides from our junior men and our pro men. He looks a little exhausted there, if I do say so. He's a little tired. But that's why he needs to conserve his energy, because he still has 2 more rides to go. And there's a 15-second timer. Hopefully he can throw a big loop here right at the end to call it. Going, there's a few nice cartwheels. That should get him the technicality bonus at least. Going for that front loop, couldn't really fully bring it around. Maybe they might give it a flat Space Godzilla. And the timer goes off to signal the end of his first ride. Evan Bate, everybody.
Evan out here paddling. His brother Eric was in the men's division earlier, the intermediate expert men's division earlier. So Evan is one of 2 Bate boys out here as we are getting ready for the first ride of this junior men's finals from John Chalkley, the 241 here, representing the watermelon colored Jackson Rockstar 5.
John is just waiting in the end. He puts a thumbs up from the judges. Thumbs up is seen. That means that he's good to drop in Andrews coming into the feature now. Let's see what he can do for us. He's been working on his entry moves here. Trying to go for that wing over, but unfortunately couldn't land it. Holding on to that side surf. And earlier today we saw him throw a huge loop and a huge Space Godzilla. Gets a little window shade, but still manages to retain his feature.
One thing that you saw John do right off the bat is he dropped in for his entry move. Didn't quite get it, and he just kind of shook it off and moved straight into the next trick. As he's still trying to get that first big throw here, we know John can do it. He is side surfing right now, maybe trying to work his way back to the top of the foam pile to get a proper setup. Spinning it around. This might be it right here. He's going to work his way from the back of the foam. He's got a good setup here.
Going for a big plug, maybe a Space Godzilla, kind of landing flat and bracing up.
He's got 15 seconds left. What can John do? Everybody cheer on John here. He's got 15 seconds here in the junior men's finals.
Going for a cartwheel, maybe a split wheel, and the timer goes off, and that's the end of his first ride.
That's going to do it for John Chalkley's first ride. Just laying some points down. Again, they get 2 more rides after this, so we know what John is capable of. John knows what he's capable of, and he knows that, okay, ride 1 is over. Put it behind you. Rides 2 and 3, that's all that matters now.
And that's a great way of looking at it. You have to break. The hardest part about kayaking, in my opinion, is honestly the mental aspect. You have to be able to look past the hiccups, look past the pushbacks. You have to think about how you're going to perform and not fold under pressure. And that's in every circumstance, competition, river running, and just having fun. You still just need to put that smile on your face and keep chugging along.
All right, dropping into the feature now is Thomas Joyce here, going for an entry move. That's going to be an entry one right there. That's going to get him some points right off the bat. Big loop right there by Thomas Joyce. My goodness, that was textbook. As he's now going into these spins, getting some verticality there. Roll up quick. Still in the feature here is Thomas Joyce, setting up. Maybe we're going to see him throw to the side for a huge Space Godzilla. He's logging these tricks right off the bat. He's got an entry move. He's got a loop. He's got a Space Godzilla. As he flushes out a feature, he's still got more in the tank. Everybody give it up for Thomas Joyce making his way back to the feature. It is now or never. He is currently in second place entering these finals. He wants to stay in second, but move up even more.
Man, as he tried to ferry up, he couldn't catch the feature again, so that's going to be another few seconds off the clock here, which only leaves enough time for just one more final trick. Let's see what he can do here. Trying for maybe another Space Godzilla, falling over. Unfortunately, that will do it for his first ride, but that was still such an excellent ride. A big loop, a big Space Godzilla, an entry move. That's enough to put him at least into third place, hopefully.
I'm here now with one of our senior technical correspondents here, Spencer Mortel, who is about to watch his brother Marcus drop in. But what did you see out of Thomas's entry move there?
Back paddling is helpful to go slower.
You heard it here first. As Marcus Mortel drops in, going for maybe an entry three, sticks it right there. Will they give him the three? Maybe, maybe not. It's a two at minimum. This kid can throw down absolute huge tricks as he gets a huge Space Godzilla right there. We saw him throwing some big ones earlier. Big loop right there for Marcus Mortel. Maybe going for the lunar into a split wheel. Setting up, plugging Space Godzilla the other direction.
And he's just holding on into that Dreamboat kayak, and that's such an advantage. The carbon boat is half the weight of a normal plastic boat with a big Space Godzilla on the right, too. Man, this is such a high-scoring ride already. With no flushes and getting point after point. Going for the McNasty, lands the McNasty off the left. Linking it into cartwheels again, trying for that McNasty on the other side. Can he do it right before the buzzer? He's really trying to get into that setup. Cartwheeling again, and that will do it for his first ride. What an excellent first ride. He's stoked on it. We're stoked on it. And wow, Marcus Mortel, everybody.
That Space Godzilla went to space. I mean, my goodness, he got completely aerial there. And the McNasty was about as snappy as I've seen today. Marcus currently in first place. That ride, I feel very confident that he is currently in first place now after one run through of the junior men's finals. Again, they got two more rides. James, I've received a request to please turn in your demo boat.
I did turn in my demo boat. What? Alrighty, and Evan Babe is still in the feature here. He's dropping back out. He has enough time to get back up there. And he's charging back up. He really wants that big air loop. That's what we've been seeing from him today. Hopefully throwing a few cartwheel ends as well. And he's at the top of the foam pile. Going for that loop, and he does land it. Maybe not enough air, but he still does get the loop. And he's spinning around. That's a few points. Linking it into a few wheels. And then window shading off of that right edge. Falling over, rolling back up. The whistle hasn't gone off yet. He still does have some time to get back up into the feature. Maybe one trip, maybe Space Godzilla. That would be a nice thing to see. Yeah, there's the 15-second timer.
Evan's brother Eric just watching very intently here as Evan battles back to the feature, trying to get one more trick.
He's at the top of the foam pile here. There's a few more seconds left. Maybe going for something big. Going for that left Space Godzilla, and unfortunately couldn't bring it all the way around. But what a good effort by Evan Bate, everybody.
And you guys notice there is a French bulldog walking around the middle island of the river.
Archie!
A fun fact, French bulldogs are actually native to the Nantahala River. That is a wild French bulldog. He actually lives on the island.
I heard when the water drops down, when the dam turns off, he goes in to catch all the fish that are left behind. And that's how he gets his food. But luckily there's a few people that are nice enough to feed him. But Mr. Chalky here is coming back into the feature, going straight for a big loop, but unfortunately couldn't bring it around. And he's going to get back into the eddy, ferry back up. Trying for that loop again and kind of catching an edge again, landing it, spinning around. And you know these fellas are tired. It's been a long day here in the hot sun. It's the first really hot day we've had in such a long time. He's trying to get to that Space Godzilla, falling back over.
Everybody cheer John on as he is working his way back to the feature.
And he's setting up at the top of the foam pile for hopefully something big. Going for a loop again. And he flushes out of the feature. Most likely that will do it for John's second ride. What an excellent performance by John today. He's been doing so good, so consistent today, and really doing his best. I met him last week in Rock Island. He said he wanted to attend all of the events here. He's been working really hard with his brother here as well. Royal, I believe his name is. And they've been really trying hard.
All right, next up, dropping in the feature for ride number 2 in this men's juniors final. This is Thomas Joyce. Big Space Godzilla right there by Thomas. Going for McNasty, trying to get that stern blast in the back of the boat, trying to get it up over the green of the wave, and then pull it around into a front loop. Getting some vertical ends there on the spin. Going into a split wheel, that might have been a tricky wheel attempt.
That did look like a tricky wheel attempt to me, which is a very high scoring point if you can land it. But unfortunately, he flushes out again. He still has enough time to get back up into the feature. And we're going to see probably another Space Godzilla. That's my bet here. It's a Space Godzilla off to the left here. He got a big one off the right. So that's a big point score here. And there's a 15-second mark. Going for that split wheel. Oh, again, trying for that tricky.
He wants it bad, man. That is a high-scoring trick if you can land it. There's your other Space Godzilla.
And that does it for the second ride. He really wanted that tricky move. He went for it twice, which is sometimes you just have to go for a trick once, and if it's not there, try again if you can really fast, but you have to move on. You have to be able to score as many different points as possible, because each trick only counts once. And if it's not going for you, it won't go. So you have to try a different move to ensure that you get the highest amount of points at the right times.
James, I think one thing that is playing a factor is he knows that he has got to beat what was an absolutely outstanding first ride for Marcus Martel, right? So he's got to go and try all those big moves to try and kind of overtake Marcus, who just went flying in the air, and I think his controller died about halfway through that trick. Might want to change the batteries there, Marcus.
Marcus' brother laughing at him on the banks. Man, what an interesting move there. I'm not really sure what to call that besides the something. But he gets a Space Godzilla. He knows he still has a great first ride. And remember, only one ride counts. Maybe a back loop there. Going for the McNasty. Gets the McNasty. Setting up for something. Going for the Space Godzilla off the other side. Going for a big front loop. Maybe not the big air bonus that he needs. 15 seconds left on the timer.
Still a really solid ride, despite the start here from Marcus Martel. He's pulling it together here in the last 15 seconds or so, trying to throw something there, barely using his paddle right there, and he's going to wave it off. He knows that he's had a really good first ride. He's had a really good second ride. I feel very confident he's still at the top of the leaderboards as we now enter the final stage here of the junior men's. I have a feeling Todd McGinnis is about to interrupt me at any minute. Todd, take it away whenever you get a chance.
We are tabulating. We are tabulating and Clay is talking. All right. We have scores. John Chalkley is in 4th. Evan Bate is in 3rd. Thomas Joyce is in 2nd with a 298. And Marcus Mortel, the Flying Mortel, is in 1st place with the 620.
The better Mortel brother. Alright, and this is the final ride of the junior men's finals. Remember, only one ride counts, so anything can happen here. Evan could move up a place. Let's see what he does. Maybe a Space Godzilla right there. Trying to spin around, catching an end there. Nice cartwheels.
Evan currently sitting in 3rd. He knows that he's got some work to do here if he wants to move up at all. But he also wants to defend. He wants to top that score that he enters already having. Trying to get a spin here. Oh, getting a little vertical there. That may score him some additional points, some style points. Recently added. Going for, just kind of falls over. And that's going to do it there for Evan Bate. Currently sitting in 3rd place, so he's on the podium as of now. However, your next paddler has an opportunity to knock one of the podium members off the podium and take a spot.
That's right, John Chalkley. Currently sitting in 4th place. Oh, there's something that we just saw popping out of the water there. Something dropped into the water. You can see maybe a big log. I think it's a log. What is that? It's a tree. A strainer, a floating strainer. Everybody watch out, competitors. You don't want to go for a front loop and eventually impale yourself in the face. But John Chalkley waiting for the thumbs up. There it is. He's going to enter the feature here. And a big ride from John could put him into 3rd place. Let's see what he can do here. He's catching an edge, but he's still sitting in the dead water at the top of the foam pile, ready to throw something big. He's going to go straight into that front loop. Maybe a Space Godzilla, actually. He lands it, but not enough air. We'll see if they score that. Doing a spin. And he tried to go again for maybe that other cartwheel there, just couldn't hold on. And he flushes out into the eddy. He's going to catch it, come back up, and let's see if he can do it again. Everyone give him a hand, John Chalkley.
Trying to make the podium here is John.
His final ride, going for a big air. Oh, there's maybe a Space Godzilla again. And he's just holding on. The 15-second timer has gone off. Holding on. He needs something big right here at the buzzer to maybe propel him onto 3rd place. Another Space Godzilla. We've seen that before in this ride, and that does it. And I don't know if that'll be enough to bump him into 3rd. He throws a nice peace sign up into the air, showing his love for the sport, love for the people here. And hopefully that will put him up. Maybe it won't. We'll see with the results shortly. Alrighty, and the thumbs up means it's time to go.
Thomas has already locked up a spot on the podium, and I do believe he currently sits in 2nd, but he wants to jump Marcus with a 620.
Setting up at the top of the foam pile, going straight into some cartwheels, and flushing out, unfortunately. And this is his final ride. Remember, 3 rides, 1 counts in the finale, in the finals. Flushes out, he's coming back up into the eddy. We're gonna see if he can throw something big here and maybe get into that first place. But he's already locked a spot on the podium, and that's a win enough. But let's see if he can throw something big here. Show off for everyone else here in the audience. Going for the split wheel, trying to link it back into something. Unfortunately couldn't. Holding that side surf.
I think he wants that tricky move.
I think he does want that tricky move. I'm sure that might be the only thing we see him go for it. And the 15-second timer has gone off. Cartwheeling again. Going for maybe a Space Godzilla down there on the right. Trying to set up for the McNasty. Holding onto a side surf and just flushes out. And that was not his best ride in the finals. But that's okay because only one counts, not the worst. So he's going to flush out. And now for the final ride, Marcus Mortel.
I do believe that Marcus currently sits in first place. And if you notice, he's the only person still in the eddy that hasn't paddled a third ride. Which means, I do believe this is the champion, Marcus Martel.
Dropping in for a victory ride. Hopefully we see something fun and interesting happen. He doesn't have to worry about going big because he's already won pretty much. So we're going to see if he throws anything that he's been working on. Maybe just dropping his paddle. And he's got it back.
How big can he go here? Going for some style points here. Show us something big, Marcus. Trying to pull that McNasty around. Oh my goodness. He was so patient.
Going for a big loop right there, falling back onto his face.
And he's just gonna wave it off. He knows. He's stoked about it. What a ride.
What an excellent ride. And that concludes our junior men's class, everybody. Give it up for our junior men. Wow, what an excellent showing. Coming up next, we'll have our women and junior women as we see them all charging down into the feature together right here.
I do want to say this is the first class that has been on time, on the water, ready to go. Thank you, women. All right. I have the final results. In fourth place, we have Mr. John Chalkley. Third place, Evan Bate. Second place, Thomas Joyce. And first place, Marcus Mortel hangs on to first with a 620. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the results, Todd. Todd is our senior result correspondent here. And he's working really hard to make sure that we all get the results that we need. And there's going to be a quick interim while the judges arrange things and get ready for the women here. The men are getting in the way. Marcus, get out of the way. Your class is over, buddy.
Real quick, everybody's been working hard here. How about a round of applause for all of our scribes, our judges, everybody that's making this competition possible.
And a round of applause for everyone who just decided to come out and just have a good time as well. All of you in the audience helps these competitions keep going. Without you, we wouldn't be here. To everyone that supports these things.
All right. If I may interrupt for a moment, we're going to start with the junior women going first with the order of go is Sophia Harlow, Mary Claire Hargrove, then Lauren Bird, Hugh Wang, Alex Horn, and Emily Jackson. Back to the shore correspondent.
Thank you from our island correspondent.
Okay, yeah, we can come back over to senior man. Sweet. We're all good. We can go back. What? Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Coming up next after the junior and expert women is the pro men finals. After the pro men finals, we will have a party here in the Big Buster backyard here. Dropping the feature is Sophia Hara. Going for a front loop. Kevin is one of the only few here where father and daughter / son are competing together. Her and her father Kevin competed together today. And she's sitting on the side surf waiting to set something up. She flushes out. She's going back into the eddy though. She still has some time to catch up into the feature, maybe throw something else right at the buzzer. Holding on in the dead water. She's working hard. She's paddling really hard. There's a 15-second timer. She's just going to wave it off. That'll be the end of her first ride.
I thought it was there. Oh, it's there.
And if you notice, a few of these ladies here are rocking a very glittery boat. Those are the Dreamboat kayaks made by Stephen Wright in Columbus, Georgia. They're carbon for the low price of $3,200. You can get one for yourself. They're about half the weight of a plastic boat, just as durable, and go twice as much higher in the air. Here comes Mary Claire Hargrove. Trying for that entry 3. She may get points for that. It was a little off angle. We'll see how the judges score that. Goes for a spin, holding on to that side surf. And I think right here we're going to see just a straight plug from her. Yep, there it is, going for a Space Godzilla off the right. Maybe a huge bonus there. Maybe trying to set up for that McNasty right there. Going for a big front loop again. That'll get her some more points. She's going to fall back into the current. She's going to get into the eddy and hopefully try and get back into the feature for maybe one last point here. One last trick here could put her into the lead. We'll see what she can do. Space Godzilla off the left too. That's both sides Space Godzillas and a front loop that we've seen and that entry move. And the timer goes off and that's her first ride. Mary Claire Hargrove, everybody. Alrighty, Lauren Bird dropped into the feature here. She's going for a front loop, but kind of just fell backwards, popped out. She's going to fall into the current, catching back into the eddy. And we saw it earlier from her, she almost got a phonics. And she's been trying for a cartwheel to loop link. She really wants to get that combo. There's the front loop.
Lauren coming back around to this right-hand shoulder, getting back on top of the pile. This is the finals. It's 3 rides. Your best ride's going to count. So it's go big or go home. These ladies are fighting for a top spot. Looking for that Space Godzilla off to the right-hand side. Spinning it around. There's that 15-second whistle. Looking for one more big trick. Maybe going to initiate this turn in for the cartwheel and go flurry. And that's going to be time for Lauren's first ride of 3. Next up, we have Q Wang. She was doing some really big tricks during the prelims. Q is a powerhouse, so she can throw tricks really fast and really snappy. Trying to see what she's got for us. There's a big aerial loop to get her ride started. Gonna surf around to this right-hand shoulder. Plugging it in, looking for the next trick. Looking for that big Space Godzilla, not quite liking that one. Back to the top of the foam pile. She needs to come down with speed and slam her feet to try and get that kayak to fly in the air. Just like that Space Godzilla right there. The Space Godzilla, 90-degree twist within the front loop. Definitely a hard scoring trick. McHugh doing both sides of those. Trying again for the space, not quite sure why. She's already scored the other two. Going to go in for some cartwheel ins. Kind of getting bubbled out, and that's going to be time for Q's first ride. Time. All right, next up, we're going to have Alex Horn from West Virginia. Alex paddles the new a lot. Here she goes, dropping in, first ride. I'm going to start as she starts surfing around, looking for her first big trick, big loop. Going to get those air bonus on that trick for sure. Kind of surfing around, looking for her next one. Trying to get the huge unlocked for the loop there. I think we're going to see her going for her Space Godzilla next, and then maybe the Phonics is. There's that big right-hand Space Godzilla. It'll be up to the judges whether she got enough twist in that boat to score the space. It does need to meet a certain criteria to be scored. There's the space to the left-hand side. Kind of getting bubbled out on her reset. Back to the eddy she goes. 15 seconds on the clock for Alex. Plugging the boat back in, trying to redo that Space Godzilla. See if she'll go through for some cartwheel ins right on the buzzer. Nope, another loop. Alex, first ride. Next up, we have our current leader in the senior women's class. All the scores do reset to 0 after prelims, so Emily does have to put down a big ride to be able to maintain her first place spot, but we all know that she can. Starting off with a giant Space Godzilla, spinning around to the right-hand side, about to plug it back in, gonna go loop up and over the top. Look how she's selling each of her tricks nice and straight, not letting the judges guess at all, saying, I did each of these tricks exactly how they need to be done for me to score. Maybe getting a little bit of a Felix or a window shade there. She's going to look around for this next McNasty, push the stern up into the green water, 180-degree rotation, flown into a front loop. Not quite getting that stern to push up onto the water. There it is. Can she pull it off? Yes, she does. Emily's going to score that McNasty for 150 points. Emily's already in that 300-point range. With that Phonics, it'll be up to the judges whether she went over the top or not. I'm gonna finish it off with some cartwheels to the left. And that's gonna be it. Huge ride from Emily Jackson there. Alright, we're gonna move back up to the top of our heat list. Back to the junior women. We're gonna have Sophia up next, second of 3 rides. After first ride scores, we're going to have Sophia in second with 30 points. Mary Claire is first for junior women's with 380. In the senior women's, we're going to have in fourth place Lauren Bird with 10, Q Wang with 200, Alex Horn with 240, and Emily Jackson with 360 points. So technically, Mary Claire is our top scorer right now. Alright, looking back to the judges so we can get the thumbs up for these second rides. This is the final, so 3 rides, your best ride's going to score. Looks like we got the head judge thumbs up. Sophia looking for this entry move. She's going to go entry 1 off the start. Nice entry 1 there. Shaking off the water, surfing around, spinning around on the right hand shoulder. Not quite liking that setup, so she's going to try it again. To the top of the foam pile she goes. Charging down the foam pile, going to keep that rudder stroke in. Going for the big aerial loop, not quite getting it to snap over the top, but it was still a really good try. He's going to try that again there. Boom, looking for that looper, Space Godzilla again, but not quite keeping her rudder stroke in. Let's get Sophia up there, guys. Come on, she needs to get some big points if she wants to be on top of that podium. Sophia, 15-second buzzer going. She's fighting to get back in there. She can only score points when she's inside the feature. And she's just going to smile it off. Sophia's out here having a great time. All these athletes are having a great time. Next up, Mary Claire Hargrove. She has the thumbs up. She's probably going to go for this entry 3 again. Dropping in. She's going to try and go big up in aerial from the start. Huge entry move there. That was a textbook entry 3. Spinning it around to the right-hand side of this hole. Looking to plug in. Big Space Godzilla off to the right-hand side. They're going to plug it in. Big aerial loop over the top. Setting back up on this right-hand shoulder. She's going to go offside space now. Boom, offside space. Both spaces and loops checked off. Marico's going to start going into her cartwheels now. There it goes. Ryan, not quite liking that one. There's that 15-second buzzer. Looking for a split wheel to the left-hand side. Not quite finishing the rotation she needed. She had a ton of points off the first 20 seconds of her ride, but it kind of slowed down. Looking for the phonics right on the buzzer. Another super solid ride by Mary Claire Hargrove. Next, we're going to be looking to Lauren Bird. Alright, looks like we had a thumbs up for Lauren. Dropping in for her second of 3 rides here in this finals. We still have one more finals after this, the pro men. Plugging the bow, looking for that Space Godzilla, not quite getting the stern to release. The boat has to be fully aerial for it to score. Looking for that Space Godzilla again. It'll be up to the judges whether she met the definition to score that trick. Spin it back around, looking, what's her next trick going to be? Trying for that Space Godzilla again. Really just whipping that boat up and over her head. Lauren's been out here competing in 2 different classes, so she has to be tired. She's done about 7 competition rides today. It's a lot of kayaking. Looking around for those cartwheels to the right-hand sides. Those ends need to be over 45 degrees for them to score. Spinning around on the right-hand side. She's got time for one more trick. She's going to plug the valve. Looking for that loop on the buzzer. It'll be up to the judges whether she scored that or not, but super solid second ride from Lauren Bird. Next up, Q Wang. Thumbs up. Thumbs up for Q Wang. Here she goes, dropping in. Big aerial loop to get things started. Looking for her next trick. What's it going to be? Spinning around on that right-hand shoulder, going vertical on one of the ends. Big Space Godzilla off to the right-hand side. Looking for the Space Godzilla again on the right. This is not quite the tempo Q had on her first ride, but that's why it's finals and you can go big or go home. You can have 2 throwaway rides and kind of just leave it all for either the last or the first. Q's got about 5 seconds left, and that's going to be time for Q's second ride. Next up, Alex Horn from West Virginia. Looks like we do have the thumbs up for Alex, dropping in for her second ride of this senior women's finals. Plugging her bow. Big Space Godzilla off to the left-hand side there. Alex having to fight back into the hole. You can only score points when you're in the hole. This isn't the cadets competition. This is the throw class. Big aerial loop up and over the top. She's probably going to get an extra huge bonus on this. If you get a huge, you're going to get around an extra 40 points added to your score. It definitely adds up over time. Alex may be looking for the phonics monkey, but not quite getting that stern to stay aerated enough. Spinning around one more time, gonna plug the bow in, look for her last trick on the buzzer. One last loop, and that's gonna be time for Alex's second ride.
All right, real quick, if you have a bib and you are done for the day, please return your bib. If you are done for the day and you still have your bib, you can return your bib where you got it. Thank you.
Thanks, Riverbank correspondent. Emily Jackson into the hole, looking for that big Space Godzilla to start her right off, surfing around, looking for her next trick. Nice loop up and over the top. She's around at 220 points as of right now. Around 230 now, adding 10 points from the spin, looking for the phonics monkey. If she scored that, that's a 190-point trick with the air bonus. Looking for the McNasty. Again, maybe we'll have to see with the judges. These tricks need to go up and over the top for them to be scored. The giant Space Godzilla from Emily there, gonna get that huge bonus on that one for sure. She's got about 10 seconds left. She's gonna look for this tricky woo on the buzzer, trying to sell it to the judges. Cartwheels, and that's gonna be it for Emily Jackson's second ride. Definitely laid the hammer down there, trying some of the hardest tricks on the score sheet. It looks like we have some scores. We had Sophia improved her ride with 40 points. So Mary Claire, you're still going to stay with your first ride score of 380. Lauren, you improved to 40 points, but still staying in fourth place. Everyone else is in the same. So Lauren fourth, Q third, Alex second, and Emily still in first with the 360 points. Here we go. This is our last ride of the senior women's and junior women's finals. Alright, looks like we have the for Sophia Harrow. Sophia getting ready to drop in for her last ride. Oh, blowing a kiss to the judges. I'm not sure if that's going to help, but it might. She might be winning with 1,000 points already. Dropping in, big entry move there. 30 points for just dropping in, doing that nice little roll into the eddy, or into the hole, my bad. Looking for maybe some cartwheels off to the right-hand side. Spinning it, setting up on that shoulder. Kind of getting thrown around, but she said, "You're not the boss of me, I'm going to keep paddling up." Back into the hole, she's going to plug her bow, keep that rudder stroke. Kind of gets subbed out a little bit. She's throwing her feet a little too hard. Sophia fighting back in there. What's she gonna try? I think she's gonna try that loop again. Can she keep it? Get it up and over the top. So close. We'll see what the judges are gonna give her. It's so close. Whether it's gonna count or not. But she's stoked just to be out here. Sophia's been training super hard. Alright, next up, the winner of the junior women's NOC rodeo, Mary Clara Hargrove, for a victory lap. She already has a 380-point ride. Let's see if she can best it. I think it's one of her best rides she's ever done. Going for that entry 3, probably going to downgrade it to an entry 1. Looking for that spin off to the right-hand side. Plugging the bow in. Big aerial loop up and over the top. Spinning back around. She's going to go Space Godzilla to the right-hand side now. Plug the bow. Boom. Big Space Godzilla off to the right-hand side. Surf back around. She's going to spin it around. Getting bubbled out just slightly. Plugging the bow. She's actually going to go cartwheels. Looking for some cartwheels to the right-hand side. Maybe went a little too past vertical for second end. Plugging around, going for that offside space. And she's going to keep rallying. She's got 10 seconds left. Come on, crowd. Let's get her up there for one more trick. Hit that phonics on the buzzer. And that is time for Mary Clara Hargrove, your winner of the junior women's class here at the NOC Rodeo. Good stuff. All right, next up, we're done with our junior ladies. Moving into our pro women finals last rides. This is the last time that the podium can be changed up. Lauren's the only one not on the podium as of right now. So if she throws down a big ride, she can move up on top. And then Alex and Q and Emily will be fighting to stay on. Lauren in the hole. Time started. Looking for her first trick. Gonna plug the bow. Boom! Big aerial loop. That's the way she wanted to start her ride. She's around 120 points as of right now. Spinning it back around on the right-hand shoulder. On top of the foam pile. Coming back down. Gonna plug the bow. Looking for maybe a space. Not quite getting the pop that she needed. Trying to get that boat set up so she can go for her next trick. I think she's going to try that space again, or maybe look for some split wheels. Or a back loop. Oh, she's getting face surfed. Everyone loves the face surf. Come on, guys, let's get Lauren up there. She needs to throw 1 or 2 more tricks in 10 seconds if she wants to be on the podium. It's all coming down to her right now. If she can throw down right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, on the buzzer. Oh, and that's time for Lauren Bird's last ride in this final. She gave it everything she got. She's definitely exhausted from all the kayaking she did today. But it's awesome to see her out here, all these ladies out here having fun, smiling big. That's what it's all about. Next up, our current 3rd place. So we know who our podium is now. And just, Lauren, you improved to 100 points, but unfortunately did not make the podium. So we know who our podium is, we just don't know which color. Q in the hole now, currently in 3rd. Needs a big ride to move up into 2nd or 1st, and that's the way to start it. Loop right into Space Godzilla, spinning it around. Gonna go Space Godzilla the offside. Not quite getting the rotation she needed, but still in the bubble. You paddling hard to get back in there. Here she is, back inside the hole. She needs that offside space. Oh, we'll see what the judges have to say about that one. It'll be close. She needs some cartwheels now. About 20 seconds on the clock. Q looking for that Space Godzilla again. There's that 15-second buzzer. She needs one or two more tricks if she wants to dethrone Alex or Emily from the first or second place spot. There's that cartwheel to the right-hand side. And that will be it for Q Wang. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. So we have a tie as of right now. Alex and Q both have 240 points, but with the tiebreaker, Alex is going to secure second place as of right now. Oh, actually, never mind. I'm wrong. Q moves into second place with the tie with Alex. Q had a first ride score of 200 points, and Alex had a second ride score of 500. So you either need to beat a 200 to move into second place or beat your score of 240 points. If you want to move into first place, you need to beat a 360-point ride. Got it? All right, cool. All right, here we go, folks. Who's excited to see what this podium's going to be? Alex can mix this thing up. Here we go. Dropping it in. Big front loop to get things started. That's definitely going to help her case. Looking to back that front loop up. Go, spins to the left-hand shoulder there. Looking around, she needs a big Space Godzilla. That's another loop. She needs a Space Godzilla. She's already done that trick. She's gonna plug it in. She's gonna look. That's another loop she needs. She's already done that trick. You can only score a trick once per ride. So she's gonna need to go for some variety in her ride. She's around 270 points right now, if I had to guess. So she needs about 30 more points if she wants to make it into that second place spot. Gonna look for the Phonics Monkey, maybe scoring the pirouette off of that. There's that Space Godzilla. If that scored, then that is going to put her up, but it is going to be close. We will see what the judges have to say about that. That Space Godzilla was right on the border of counting or not. I'm glad I'm not a judge right now. Sounds like the judges are conversing to see who is going to be our second place athlete. And 2, am I hearing that correctly?
Yes, she got 205.
Alrighty, with the new added bonus we have brought to this competition, Alex now moves into second place with the 205. So Alex going to stay in that second place spot. Q is going to move down to third, and Emily Jackson with a winning victory lap for her third ride. She's out there just having fun. She's going to throw down for your enjoyment, looking for that split wheel or tricky woo, looking for the split to the cartwheel to the left-hand side. Looking around for the tricky woo. Can she score it? Yes, she did. Tricky woo to the left. That is a super high scoring trick, around a 250 or 150 point trick. Looking for a lunar or an orbit to the right hand side. She still has plenty of time, about 20 seconds left on the clock. There she goes back into the hole. She has time for one more trick. What's Emily Jackson going to do for us? Maybe a split wheel, link to a phonics. And that's going to be it for Emily Jackson. Last ride. Let's give it up for Emily, our winner. Alrighty, here we go. It's not even throw men's class. Hopping in the water.
Great paddling, Alex.
I'll be back, I promise.
Wow, spin the flush.
Oh my God.
And we were arguing.
There's a pro men's class coming up here, but just a gentle reminder, this is our
I know
final
you
class
did
of
it.
the day.
She flushed.
We're going to be wrapping up around here soon, so if you see any trash going around, make sure to pick it up. If it's not your trash, still pick it up. We want to leave this place cleaner than we found it. So try to make sure that this place stays nice and clean. Pick up any trash, take all the things that you brought in with you and take it out with you. And if you are an athlete and had a bib, please return it where you registered this morning at the table here. Everyone needs to return their bib. No thieves here.
Mathis, you were great. Are you going to keep going? No. Thank you for all your efforts.
All right, everyone, we are waiting for some changes of scribes and judges as we get ready for our last class today, which is the Senior Men Finals. So we've had an exciting day, and we'll end with some excitement again. So stay tuned, we'll get underway here in about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, something like that. Also, as you start to close your day out, please pick up your trash. We would be much appreciative.
If I said I didn't have to drastically pee, I'd be lying. It's causing kidney damage and probably
Yeah, so, well, it's just nowhere good. I've gone at the top of the island and I've gone right here before this. I had a stack of boats in front of me so I could see right towards this.
I've just sat in the water before, so if it gets that bad.
Nice work, Emily! Nice trick, Emily! You got it! No, that was good. If you got it, it wouldn't have been nearly as fun. But it was like, oh, you got a tricky move in competition. That's the NOC. Yeah, so I don't know how to go faster. Maybe we didn't need, I don't know. It's like everyone wants finals.
I think if you want to go have more rides, like something like a little orange, I don't know if you've seen twice and have to find something.
And I'm wondering about saying if maybe Masters, you give it your expert to use Masters. That would be a sort of rush.
Masters aren't the guests. Why don't we just make Masters have regular scores? Why are we doing all these weird scoring things?
Because they wanted it, even though it's talking about technical doesn't slow anything down.
Technical just didn't think you had to go. technical make
Did you have to do the math, or you just remind you? Technical.
I think we got to let's
Test
figure
it.
out what class is your technical. Because I do think it's great for some classes. Another class is different math.
It matters. What's the difference in math? And it changed. I did change the.
Like I don't think we did.
The only ones I had were
All right.
Let's skip it.
We are getting ready here for the grand finale of the NOC Radio. Coming up, we have 5 of the best paddlers, not just in the Southeast, not just in the U.S., but in the world. These are world-class athletes that are about to throw down in one of probably the most intense competitions that you're going to see.
Sitting in the hitties. This is your order of go. We're going to start with Mr. Spencer Mortel, followed by Eric Jackson, Nick Troutman, Mason Hargrove, and Dane Jackson. Spencer, Eric, Nick, Mason, Dane.
Caleb's right there.
All right, you ready?
All right, everybody. 3 rides, 1 counts. This is the moment you've been waiting for. The grand event, the finale of the NOC Rodeo. And we have the thumbs up. Now entering the wave, the captain of Colorado, Spencer Mortel. Going right for an entry 3, plugging, then into a loop, laying those points down early is Spencer. Going for McNasty, you're pulling it around, making sure he's nice and snappy. Again, this is the first ride, and your best ride counts. Maybe a space loop right there from Spencer, we'll see. Those linking tricks are definitely going to score you a lot of points here, as Spencer is in the feature, pulling that McNasty around the other direction, landing it, maybe an air bonus as well. Going for a phonics monkey, can't quite pull it around. Spencer setting up very. There's the phonics monkey with air, huge phonics monkey from Spencer, setting the tone early. Quick window shade there from Spencer Mortel. What you're going to see next. All right, that's going to do it, I do believe, for Spencer Mortel's first ride. A great first ride from Spencer Mortel, everybody, in the men's K1 finals. dropping into the feature for his first ride of the finals is the man, the myth, the legend. This is Eric Jackson with a beautiful wing over to start things off. Going straight into a McNasty is EJ. He's paddled a lot today. Going into a Phonics Monkey, trying to pull it around. Can't quite get there. Setting up McNasty, possibly the other direction. Could not get the pass he wanted. Trying to pull it around. Muscling it. Oh my goodness. That is both McNasties. Go ahead and book it. Go ahead and write him down into a Phonics. Maybe that's going to score as a pirouette. EJ really trying to slow down here, trying to throw a bunch of points. There's the Phonics that we were looking for right there. My goodness, what a start we've already have to our finals here in the pro men's category. EJ going for a plug. Big air loop. That's going to score some bonus points. 15 seconds left for EJ. His first ride coming out. Big Space Godzilla. He's got points left and right. Does he have another one in store? There's the Space Godzilla the other direction. Trying to put the finishing touches on a fantastic first ride at the buzzer, getting those ends into the combos. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Jackson. And now, entering the feature, hailing from Canada, Nick Troutman with a beautiful wing over to get things started straight into a McNasty. Straight into a Phonics Monkey. Nick is absolutely throwing tricks left and right. Big Space Godzilla into a signature space loop. We've seen Nick do this all day today into some cartwheels. He is spinning, split wheel the other direction into a link. Pulling it around, McNasty coming big, McNasty. That's going to get a bonus there. Nick in the feature. My goodness, these first rides have been absolutely fantastic. Phonics Monkey there for Nick. Laying down some high-scoring tricks early on in the ride. It's hard to believe how much time he still has left. Trying to go for the winner. We may see him try to clean that one up. Everybody cheer for Nick as he's battling back into the feature. Going for the tricky one is what it was looking like. He's got 15 seconds left. What does he have left in the tank? Go for the lunar, pulling it around into an end. That's going to get him some technical points that we were talking about earlier. Going for there's the tricky one that he's going for. Right on the buzzer, my goodness, what a ride, Nicholas Troutman. For three paddlers, I must say, the bar has been set and it has been set high. But coming up next to the feature, entering finals in second place, the Phoenix City Phenomenon from Phoenix City, Alabama, Mason Hargrove, dropping in for what's probably going to be an entry three, huge entry three, straight into a Phonics Monkey. He is looking snappy, he's looking dialed in. Space Godzilla, Space Loop, my goodness, right into a lunar, pulling it around. This is a huge start for Mason Hargrove, going straight into the tricky one, trying to pull it around. Is he going to be able to clean it up? He's paddling back into the feature, setting up, going into the Phonics Monkey the other direction. We already saw him throw one the other direction. A little bit of a flush here. What can he do? Paddling up back toward the feature. Look at him go. Just an absolute windmill of paddling. Huge Space Godzilla. Scoring a lot of points early on. Mason's got some tricks left. Into the lunar loop. We have not seen the lunar loop. Was that a Jedi? He's got about 10 seconds left.
Does he have time for one more trick? I think he thinks he can. And that's going to do it for the kid, Mason Hargrove, his first ride of the day. Absolutely throwing down to start this one. There has not been a ride through 4 paddlers that was not absolutely electric. What a start to finals. Again, one ride counts, your best ride counts. And so far, through 4 paddlers, although there's one left, it's been incredible. We've seen some fantastic rides, but if there's anybody that can top those rides, that can throw perhaps the biggest ride you will see today, it is this man right here, entering the feature, the greatest of all time, Dane Jackson, with a Frenchy entry move. That is a windover into a McNasty, pulling a McNasty the other direction. Absolutely huge. First in the plug, Space Godzilla into some cartwheels. Absolutely killer ride from Dane. Big loop right there with air that might get a clean bonus. We're going to see how they scored that. Going straight into the Lunar, pulling it around into some cartwheels. He is a spinning machine. That pink boat, absolutely electric, out of the feature. Into a tricky wheeler, one tricky, I can't even tell. He's moving so fast. Dane setting up big Phonics Monkey incoming. There it is. That's going to get a bonus. Phonics Monkey there. 15 seconds left for Dane. Spinning it around. Into a Phonics. Going straight into a plug. Space Godzilla into some spins. He's got time for one more trick. What's he going to show us? Big Space Godzilla in the other direction. That's going to do it for Dane Jackson's first ride. An absolutely electric first set of rides from every single athlete. They are the pros for a reason. There are going to be some high-scoring rides in the first round. I have serious doubts that any of those first rides are going to score less than 1,000 points. There is still a lot of debate happening right now amongst the judges from what was just an electric first set of rides. If you can hear this microphone and you're not sitting by the shore of the Nantahala River watching the play hole, you need to get down here right now.
Caleb, you want to share scores?
All right, we do have some scores from the first set of rides here. With his first ride, a score of 605 is Spencer Mortel. His first ride, a score of 910, Eric Jackson. His first ride, a score of 955, currently in third, Mason Hargrove. In second place currently, with his first ride scoring 1,250 points, Nick Troutman. And your leader heading into the second round of rides with a score of 1,590, Dane Jackson. All right, everybody, now dropping into the feature for his second ride, the wizard from out west, Spencer Martell. Big loop right there from Spencer. Setting up here, looks like he wants that McNasty, and he wants it badly. Trying to pull it around there, but a slight flush. We'll see if we get probably a flush bonus on that one. Spencer making his way back up to the feature. Looking for a Space Godzilla right there. Space Godzilla the other direction. He may try to clean those up. We shall see. Spencer currently sitting in fifth place with a score of 605. He's going to need to improve that if he wants on the podium. Going for a McNasty. There it is right there. That's going to get him an air bonus as well. 15 seconds left on the clock. Spencer, you have 15 seconds to throw something big. McNasty the other direction with air. Going for a runner, that's a high-scoring trick right there. Don't know if he got it around in time, but he's got some cartwheels, and that's going to do it for Spencer Martell. And maybe I'm trying a tricky wheel on the buzzer. We're going to see if they counted that or not. Spencer's first ride is 605. We are ready to start for the ride number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man who's about to take the wheel is Eric Jackson with a beautiful wing over the start here. Going straight into a phonics monkey. That's a really nice one. We just setting up for his next trick. Going straight into a phonics monkey on the other direction. So he's now got both phonics monkeys. He wants the McNasty. His edge catches and he goes over. He's still in the feature. What a huge move by Eric Jackson. Setting up for his next trick, paddling up toward the feature. Big Space Godzilla here by EJ. An unfortunate flush right there. He's going to work his way to that river right eddy. He's going to rally back up. He's got about 15 seconds left. I don't think this ride is better than his first, and he is still going to throw down. Trying for a McNasty. Is he going to try for one more trick? And that's going to do it for EJ on his second ride here of the men's finals. So Eric Jackson still with some work to do if he wants to make the podium. But coming to the wave now is the man from Canada. This is Nick Troutman. throwing down entry 3 there for Nick. Space Godzilla into a space loop. We saw that in his first ride. Nick currently sitting in second, throwing a huge McNasty into a phonics monkey. You can hear the stern tap on the green of the water. Nick setting up, trying to find his next trick, find the next rhythm. There's a McNasty right there. Still in the feature, retaining. Going for phonics, the other direction. There it is, right there. Going for a lunar. Spinning it around into a split wheel or a tricky wheel. Some cartwheels, some ends. 15 seconds up. Going for the lunar right there again. Nick had a really solid first ride. He's trying to improve it though because there's still work to do. Space Godzilla. He's got time for one more trick. Tricky wheel on the buzzer into some cartwheels. And that's going to do it for Nicholas Trauman's second ride here. Two more athletes still waiting to do their second ride. One is Mason Hargrove, the other Dane Jackson. Your current leader, Dane Jackson, with a 1590 on his first ride. But Mason has more in the tank. Mason can absolutely throw down a ride. That's absolutely huge. If you recall, last October, it was Mason and Dane going at it for a national title on this exact feature. Dropping in the feature now for his second ride, the Mustache Maniac. This is Mason Hargrove with a huge entry 3, holding that powder, letting everybody know it's a clean into a space loop. That's a Space Godzilla linked into a loop right there. Some huge points right off the bat for Mason Hargrove. He knows he's got work to do. He wants to climb the podium, going into a phonics monkey, going it around, still in the feature. Phonics monkey the other direction, very patient, pulls it around, finishes right there. McNasty pulling it around, huge McNasty right there. That's going to get him some bonus points. Mason working his way back to the top. Big trick right there. Space Godzilla, a little bit of a flush. Excuse me, no flush, but stuck in the feature. McNasty pulling it around, desperately trying. I mean, Mason is just absolutely throwing that boat around. Going for the tricky move, trying to pull it around. He's got time for a couple more tricks. What's he going to show you right here on the buzzer? Going for a tricky move. Tricky move on the buzzer! And that's going to do it for Mason Hargrove's second ride.
with the thumbs up for the final ride of the second go-around. Again, these athletes still have one more ride. They have 3 rides, and this would be the final ride of the second group. Dropping in the feature, this is Dane Jackson, a multiple-time world champion athlete, Red Bull athlete, throwing into an entry to Lake to McNasty, commonly known as the Frenchie. Into McNasty. See what Dane's going to do. Huge loop. Did not get his head wet on that one. My goodness, that was a huge loop. Into some cartwheels. Tricky loop. Pulling it around. Cartwheels, absolute spinning, getting everything that he can. Technical bonus. Trying to throw it into a phonics monkey, but he's going to flush out. He's going to catch the river right Eddie. Paddle his way back up. Give it up to Dane Jackson, everybody. This is the greatest of all time. Going into a phonics monkey right there is Dane. Lining it up, going for the phonics monkey the other direction. He's got 15 seconds left. What can he show us? Space Godzilla. Still got a little bit more time for one more, couple more tricks. Space Godzilla the other direction. Plugging Space Godzilla. Absolutely crushing it. And trying to go for the winner right there on the buzzer. I don't think that's going to count, but another really good ride from Dane Jackson. So that leaves one more ride each. 5 rides remain at the NOC Rodeo. And in just a few minutes, we're going to find out who's standing at the top of the podium. This is an absolutely loaded group of paddlers. All right, everybody. We have some updated scores. Currently sitting in 5th place with some work to do with 830 points is Spencer Mortel. Behind Spencer, in front of Spencer, in 4th place with 910 points, Eric Jackson. Entering the final rides, currently sitting on the podium in 3rd place with a score of 1,520, Nick Troutman. In 2nd place with a score of 1,540, Mason Hargrove. And in 1st place currently, upping his score from the last ride by 100 points with 1,690 is Dane Jackson. So again, in 5th place, Spencer Mortel. In 4th place, Eric Jackson. In 3rd place, Nick Troutman. In 2nd place, Mason Hargrove. And in 1st place, Dane Jackson. If you want to get on the podium, if you want to place top 3, you will have to beat Nick's score of 1,520. If you want to stand on top of the podium, you will have to beat Dane's score of 1,690. It all comes down to this. Can the young gun from Colorado, a Davidson University student, Spencer Mortel, make a run
We're about to find out as Spencer drops in, entry 3, setting up. He wants to make nasty. He's going to pull it around and he's going to drop. That edge is going to catch. Everybody cheer Spencer. He's got to get back up to the feature. Plugging Space Godzilla to the left. He wants this make nasty. Can he do it? He can't quite get it. I think he's tired. He's trying to pull that McNasty around. Finally gets it to go. There it is. Is that what he needs to catalyst himself into a ride? He's going to try the McNasty the other direction. Into some cartwheels. An unfortunate push for Spencer Nantahala. He's back in the inning. Everything counts. Spencer, make your way back up. Everybody cheer him on. And that is going to do it for Spencer Nantahala. I do not believe that's enough for Spencer to make his way onto the podium. But now, dropping into the feature with a chance to jump onto the podium, it's the checkered champion, the Rock Island rock star, Eric Jackson. Dropping in a little wing over, straight into a phonics monkey. Big phonics monkey there, almost flushing, but working his way back. Still in the feature, phonics monkey the other direction. EJ needs a huge ride right here. McNasty, there it is. Can he stay in the feature? He's going to paddle like a maniac to try and get back up. There's a plug. Huge loop right there by EJ. Trying to force another plug right there. An edge catching just a little bit. Staying poised in the pocket, in the hole. Space Godzilla. Into a split wheel. Plugging. Huge Space Godzilla the other direction. That apex boat just flying through the air. That's going to do it for Eric Jackson here at the NOC Radio. A fantastic showing. And the man, he has paddled a lot today. Is it enough to jump onto the podium? We'll have to wait and see. EJ, you are in 4th place with a 910-point ride, which means those of you in the inning, you're on the podium. Now, which order you stand, that's up to you. You have one ride to show us everything you've got. Dropping into the feature now. He's currently in 3rd. Is he going to move up anymore? He's got to show us something huge right here. Dropping in, big wing over for Nick Troutman as he drops in the feature. Into a McNasty that may get an air bonus. Into a phonics monkey. Setting up. There's the plug. Space Godzilla. This might be a space suit. Yes, it is. Into a split wheel. Trying to link the split wheel both ways. There it is. Going for the lunar. Rolling it around into some cartwheels. That's going to link. It's going to score some points right there. Making it back, so spinning it around. Pulling it to the front, so is he going to try and break? No, he's going for the phonics monkey. I do believe he's got phonics monkeys to both sides now. Trying to pull around the McNasty the other direction. He's still in the back of the phone pile. He can make his way. A spot at first place is on the run. Everybody let him hear it. Nick Troutman's got 15 seconds left. Going for the tricky wheel. An unfortunate flush. And he's going to wave it off. What a showing by Nick Troutman here at the NOC Radio. Nick, you keep your 15
120, which means you are in third place. And now in second place, with a chance to jump to first, if he can beat 1690 with this ride, Mason Hargrove. Huge entry three. That's a fantastic start for the young gun from Phoenix City, Alabama. Into a Space Godzilla. Bring it around. Try and make it a tricky wheel right there, or a lunar, excuse me. There's the lunar, Kenny. We've seen him build a lunar loop before into a split wheel. Spinning all around. Paddling up. Phonics monkey. He's going to have to throw some huge tricks here. Big Space Godzilla into a space loop with air. Huge space loop right there. That's a big move from Mason Hargrove. He's going for the Phonics monkey. Big Phonics monkey the other direction. He's now got both Phonics'. He's got the McNasty coming around here, trying to go for it. 15 seconds left. Spinning around a tricky move. Pulling it into a lunar. Oh my goodness. Is that going to be enough? He's going to wave it off. I don't know if that's going to be enough to jump Dane Jackson. An impressive performance today from Mason Hargrove. As we await what the judges are going to say. Is Dane going to have to beat Mason's score, or is Dane going to take a victory lap? Alright, the verdict is in. And it will indeed be sweet, sweet victory for a man who adds to his resume with a win here at the NOC Rodeo, a victory ride for Mr. Dane Jackson. Oh my goodness, he throws the paddle. Can't even cover the paddle. Paddle's gone. He's in the hole. No paddle. Nick's got the paddle. Just having a good time out here at the NOC Pro with Dane Jackson. Big Space Godzilla, no hands. We want to see Dane do something cool with no hands. He's trying to pull around. Dane, you have 15 seconds left. Oh my goodness! A no hands Phonics monkey. That's gonna do it for your Blue Moon category here at the NOC Radio. Give it up for your champion, the man of the pink kayak, Dane Jackson. And right behind him, the young gun from Phoenix City, Alabama, in second place, Mason Hargrove. In third, right behind Mason, is Nick Troutman. In fourth, the legend of the sport, Eric Jackson. And in fifth place is Spencer Mortel.
Pick up your trash.
All right, thank you so much for joining us here at the NOC Rodeo. Please clean up your area, pick up trash. If you still have your bib, please return that bib to the table where registration is. Again, please clean up your area. Please no choice. We want to take care of this spot. This means a lot. And if you still have a bib, please make sure
Well, that was fun.
you return that bib.
Thanks for watching.
If you do not return your bib, we have